Hello there. I didn't see you come in. I am Scruffy the cat. You probably don't know or care who I am, but that's okay. You don't have to. Now, would you like to hear a story? I'm sure we all love a good Christmas story, but the one you're about to hear isn't like most. No talking snowmen, no magic reindeer, and certainly no redemption. The strange creature slinked through the shadows. He hid and waited in the cool December night. He creeped down streets and through alleyways. He stared at all the bright lights and Christmas decorations hung throughout the town. For some reason, he couldn't take his eyes off any of it. It gave him vague, broken memories of a past life. A better life. He closed his eyes and thought of his goal. That was all that mattered. He didn't have time to reminisce on old traditions and family gatherings. After all, Christmas was around the same time his new life began. I better get going, he thought to himself. He turned around and began to crawl away. But once he did, something bizarre happened. The ground below him seemed to break, and he went falling. He landed in one of the strangest locations he had ever been in, and he had been in a lot of strange locations. The walls were stained yellow, dim lights hung overhead, and there was an infinite number of twists and turns. The back rooms. Lenny stood up. Where am I? He thought to himself. This doesn't look like any corner of the multiverse I know. Might as well look around, see what I can find. And so, he searched the complex. A dim light here, peeling wallpaper there. Nothing really important. That was until he heard something off in the distance. He looked around. He grew eyes out the surface of his skin. Still, he saw nothing. He called out, Hello? Anyone there? I won't hurt you very much. No answer. There's gotta be someone here. I'll just kill them real quick, then get out of this place. Lenny stalked the hallways, peeking around corners, waiting to find a poor, unlucky soul for him to torment. Come out, wherever you are. But he still just couldn't find anything. Now this is just getting tedious. Killing one person isn't worth it. He turned around and ready to leave. But right as he did, something jumped out at him. It was tall and skinny, and looked almost like it was made out of black squiggles. It tackled Lenny and held him down. You must be that little pest who's been bothering me. I hate it when people bother me. Lenny morphed one of his tentacles into a blade, then threw it at the creature. It sliced the entity's head off, but before it could even fall off its shoulders, dozens of miniature tendrils stuck out and grabbed onto its larger body. The head morphed back into it. The creature was completely healed. Whoa, Lenny said. The only person I know who can do that is me. Lenny hurled multiple tendrils at the beast, piercing its body. The lacerations in its skin repaired themselves as quickly as he could stab them. The thing swung its arms around, scratching at Lenny's body. Then it reached forward and jammed its hands into Lenny's wounds. It began tearing out all his organs. You can keep those. I don't use them anyway. Lenny's tentacles swiveled around the monster. then slammed it on the ground. Orange energy emanated from Lenny's eyes. "Let's find out what you really are." He attempted to see into the thing's mind, but all he saw was a distorted, broken collage of random people and locations. There were no thoughts or emotions, just chaos. Lenny fell backwards. He grabbed his own face and screamed in agony. He fell to the ground. The thing stood above him. I've seen things. Things that could drive a man insane. I've been to hell and back. He looked up at it. What are you? It did not answer. Instead, it just stared. Then it lifted up its hands and began to tear off pieces of Lenny's skin. He couldn't fight back. All he could do was crawl away. He tried to drag himself away from it, but it kept following him. While backing away, Lenny accidentally tripped on a strange hole and tumbled down what seemed to be a chute. The creature did not follow. He rolled down the chute and landed at the bottom. Lenny laid in a puddle of his own blood. His wounds were taking longer to heal than usual. He pulled himself up and tried to move away. What was that thing? Even monsters have minds. I understand everything about the cosmos, yet here I am, baffled. No use sticking around. I better phase out of here quick. Lenny held his tendrils together. A small orb of energy generated between them. It grew larger and larger till it surrounded his entire body. Usually he would have incinerated and reappeared in a different timeline by now, but this wasn't usually. It didn't work. It just didn't. No, why is this happening? Why? It had to be that creature. It did something to me. If I can't phase out of here, maybe there's an exit. And so Lenny searched the mysterious complex for a way out. His wounds left behind a trail of blood. He found chasms with no bottom, doors that led to nowhere. Sometimes he would even stumble upon his own bloodstains, and every now and then he would stop and sit and think. Think about everything he did before this moment. He wouldn't just think about people he killed or worlds he burned. He would think about his past life when he was still human. He would think of baseball games, skate parks, restaurants. He was almost beginning to crave those trivial things again. He even thought about Christmas. Being a little kid, excited for his next present, always looking at all the decorations and lights. No, it was all a lie. It was all pointless. I was just a spoiled brat. That's what he tried to tell himself, but deep down, he missed his family and wanted to see them again. Lenny would rarely ever think of his human life anymore, and even when he did, it was with scorn. But sometimes there are those unavoidable moments where he truly desired to be one with his race again. But compassion leads to regret. Regret leads to disgust. And disgust leads to rage. When Lenny felt this way, he would usually just break someone's bones or bite someone's head off. But in the back rooms, there's no one to break or bite. No. Lenny bit his own tentacle, tearing it off. He spat his severed limb on the ground. Blood stained the yellow walls. No, no, no. I don't want to be alone. He slammed one of his tentacles on the ground in anger. No! I can't. I can't. I have to live. I have to find Limbo. I can't give up like just another lesser being. I'm above that. He hoisted himself up and continued his search for a way out. There has to be something, anything. This can't be real. After a few more moments of searching, things began to pay off. He heard something off in the distance, only this time it wasn't like before. It was someone calling to him. Someone else was stuck in the back rooms. Lenny was so overwhelmed he immediately went looking for them. He called back, "Yes, hello, I'm here." For once in his new life, he was hopeful. Unfortunately, his excitement got the best of him. When he came face to face with the individual, he screamed, "Ah, get away from me!" The man yelled as he turned around. "Wait, I'm not one of them!" Lenny screeched as he chased the man. He stretched his tentacles outward, attempting to grab him. This only made him more terrified. The man came to an edge. "Please, I won't!" In a panic, he jumped off and fell to his demise. "Hurt you." Lenny wrapped his tentacles around his own head and squeezed tightly. "What is this place doing to me? I'm supposed to be unstoppable, all-powerful. I fought the primordial synod. Why is a simple, empty room all it takes?" After who knows how long, Lenny collapsed in one of the hallways. He sat on the ground, panting. He looked forward and saw something impossible. He had a shadow. I can't have a shadow. I haven't had one since the Odyssey incident. He leaned forward, getting a closer look. The shadow was pulsating. He jumped back in a startled surprise. The pulsating vein grew off the wall and morphed into Lenny's face. Who are you?" he asked it. "I am Yanel, and this is your punishment." Yanel's tendrils wrapped around Lenny. He held him down and began biting off chunks of his flesh. You must have created this place. You wanted to torment me." Yanel laughed. "I did not create this place. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I am just a figment of your imagination, created by your own mind. This place has no real power over you. It only does because you let it." Yanel grabbed one of Lenny's tentacles and held it towards his chest. A second mouth slowly began to open. The second mouth lifted its yellow teeth aside, and he shoved Lenny's tentacle into it. The teeth bit down, and black veins spread across Lenny's body. He saw visions of himself, only he was different. He was human and married. He had a family. They were getting ready to take a photo for a Christmas card. Yanel's voice echoed, "This could have been you, Lenny. You could have been happy." Lenny's eyes filled with black tears. What happened to me? Where did I go wrong?" "Listen to me, Lenny. This is what you deserve. This is your hell." But I was so close. So close. Do you accept your punishment? Yes, I do. This is what I deserve. Then you shall be tormented, just as you have tormented many others. Their pain was only temporary. Yours will be eternal. Lenny's trance ended. Yanel stared into him. He softly whispered, "Eternal." Then he faded away. Then he found the most open area he could and called out, "Come and get me! I'm right here!" The squiggly creature popped its head out from behind a corner. It stepped forward. After that, a second creature entered the room. Then another, and another, and another. Lenny was now surrounded by monsters. He laid down and said, "Do your worst." They piled on top of him, tearing off flesh and ripping off limbs. But every time they hurt him, he would just heal. Then they would hurt him again. He curled into a ball and cried black, bloody tears. He kept thinking to himself, "This is what I deserve. This is what I deserve," over and over again. But then he remembered something. He remembered when he first entered the multiverse. He saw all the wonder, chaos, beauty, horror, everything. From that moment on, he vowed to create a perfect universe in his own image. He thought of all the imperfections out there, and how he was chosen to fix them. Then he remembered what Yanel had told him. "This place has no real power over you. It only does because you let it." He grew angrier and angrier. He didn't deserve this. It was beneath him. He slowly rose up. The creatures kept stabbing and biting. Lenny's body morphed, and all at once, dozens of sharp tendrils shot out from the surface of his body. He tore every last one of the creatures to shreds. Then he ripped through the walls. He tore through every level of the complex. That was until he found a dark void outside the back rooms. He held all his tendrils together and focused his will. A large energy ripped open in front of him. "Yes, an exit!" He started to crawl through the rift. The energy pushed him back, so he pushed harder. He heard a voice from behind him. "Stop!" It was Yanel. "You cannot leave this place. No one can." He wrapped his tentacles around Lenny's body and attempted to pull him back in. Lenny turned to him with a wide grin on his face. "I'm not like everyone else." He shredded Yanel's tentacles and threw himself forward. Yanel called from behind him. "Soon you will understand, Lenny. You will understand." Yanel was turned to ash as Lenny entered the portal. When he arrived back on Earth, he ended up in the exact same spot he was before. No time had even passed. He looked back at all the Christmas lights and decorations. He thought about the life he could have had, the memories he could have made. Then he thought of the last thing Yanel had told him. "Soon you will understand, Lenny. Soon you will understand." Yeah, right. Wow, what a story. I guess anyone can find the true meaning of Christmas, even a shape-shifting, man-eating demon from another dimension. Now get the fuck out of my